Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Pop Culture Junkie back. Thank you for tuning in. On this video, I want to share with you my latest Funko Pop haul I just picked up, and we're going to check out this new series of Funko Pops that just came out based on the very hugely popular cult classic Super Troopers. Okay, just had the sequel finally come out. It took 17 years for them to get their sequel put out, but we just had Super Troopers 2 come out about a month ago now, and just now released in stores. They have released Funko vinyl figures based on the characters from the original movie, which of course they all reappear in the second one. But check this out. We've got Super Trooper Funko Pop. We have Farva. We've got Ramathorn. Check him out. And then we have Mac. Yeah. Now, Super Troopers was a hilarious movie. Came out in 2001. It was a big cult classic. It was one of those movies that was made with a very low budget. I believe the budget was only about $3 million. They made the movie, and it's done by the acting group of Broken Lizard. Now, all the stars of Super Troopers initially met while they were in college from a fraternity, and they got together doing comedy sketches. And then later on, they moved to New York and started doing different comedy acts. And then later on, went into the movie business. Super Troopers was their big breakout movie. They've also done Club Dread. They also did Beer Fest. So they've done a little bit of different types of comedy, from the police comedy to the spoof horror comedy with Club Dread, and then the Beer Fest movie, which is really more like your college drinking kind of movie. But really, all of these movies are funny, hilarious. They've all become cult classics. They really have. Now, Super Troopers, if you haven't seen the movie yet, I recommend you go find a copy of it. It's very funny. The movie's about Vermont police that are state troopers. They're rivaling with the local police, and they're having issues with who's got the authority over what area. The local police are wanting to put the state troopers out of business. They're like, hey, you're getting shut down. You guys are cracking up too much. You guys are getting away with just playing around too much. You're not taking your job serious. When in actuality, the state police are up to no good as well. So there's the funny part of it. But there's lots of teen sex comedy elements to the movie. Lots of sex, drugs, nudity, that kind of thing. So it is not for kids, obviously. But all the actors are hilarious. They've got some excellent characters that they're all getting to portray. I think obviously my favorite character has got to be Farva. This guy is hilarious. He's not a very bright person, and he gets in trouble constantly. He's basically mandated to stay on radio at all times. He was in trouble for getting a bus full of nuns, something like that, right? We got Ramathorn. He's got the stash going, the shades. Yeah, very cool. And he's holding a bottle of syrup, because at the very beginning, there's him. There's Mac and the rookie rabbit. They're at a coffee shop diner, and they're having a syrup chugging contest. And Ramathorn and Rabbit are the ones having the contest to see who can chug the whole bottle of syrup the fastest. Mac is the wild one of the group, of course. As I didn't mention, Ramathorn, of course, is the leader. He's the leader of the team. In charge. He's the main one in charge, trying to keep the other four in check, make sure that they're kind of doing their jobs, but he also gets involved in all the hijinks. Mac is the wild one, of course. We see him at the beginning of the movie, dressed up as some redneck, renegade kind of guy, high speeding on the freeway. The cops, the Super Trooper ones, they start chasing after him like they would in a high-speed pursuit, not realizing, oh, it's one of our guys that's just in undercover gear, just screwing around. And like I said, you have to see the movie. It's hilarious. There's a lot of great one-liners throughout the movie that you could quote over and over. But hey, let's go ahead and open them up. I'm going to show you up close all these figures. So let's start with Ramathorn. All right, so here is Ramathorn. Got his shades. Got the bottle of syrup there. Let's see what it says on there. It just says pure maple syrup on the bottle. Let's get a full rotation view of him. Yeah, it looks really good. You see him he's got his holster there with his pistol. Yeah, very good looking vinyl figure. I love it. It's awesome. Let's go ahead and check out Mac. Let's see how he looks out. One of my favorite moments in the movie is the shooting range scene where Mac shows up. All the other guys are practicing, shooting, and Mac shows up wearing just the bulletproof cup, and then he's got the earmuffs on and the glasses, for shooting range and such. But he shows up and he's like, "All right, Rook, let's test this out." So he shows up, looks over at Ramathorn. Ramathorn's got his target sheet, and it's of a silhouette of a person. And he's like, "Hey, Ramathorn, how you shooting today?" He's like, "Oh, look," shows his target, and you see bullets all over the body of the target that he's been shooting at, and then there's one little bullet hole up here on the left side. And Mac's like, how's your shooting doing? Ramathorn's like, "Hey, check this out." He's like, "Oh, what about that little guy?" And Ramathorn's just like, "Oh, that little guy? I won't worry about that little guy." But then, yeah, he shoots Mac in the crotch, and he goes flying back. And then afterwards, Mac gets up, and he's just like, "All right, Rook, Rabbit, you're up." So he takes it off, gives it to Rabbit, and Rabbit has to strip down and put the thing on. So Rabbit goes over there, puts on the bulletproof cup, and then their chief, the head of the state troopers, shows up to give them updates on the case they've been working. And he looks over and sees Rabbit, and he's just like, they used to do this hazing trick when I was a rookie. And he grabs the gun that somebody was about to shoot at Rabbit with. So he goes to shoot the window of a cop car next to him, and it blows the window. And he's like, "We used to use blanks in my day." He looks over at Mac. He's like, "Mac, you're a sick son of a..." Yeah, so love it. This is a cool figure. Yeah. All right, and let's go on to the final one, Farva. So by the way, let me show you on the back here, and you can see the full cast of the state troopers. So you have Rabbit, Farva, Ramathorn, Mac, and Foster. That's, for some reason, they don't have Rabbit and Foster. This is only the 3 that they put here so far. Maybe they'll come out with more. I mean, they do have the second movie that just came out now, so maybe they're going to come out with another series of the second movie with Pops, and they'll have these 3 as well as the others. Not sure, but let's go ahead and check out Farva. We'll see how he looks out of the box here. All right, so here's Farva. Like I said, Farva is not the brightest of the bunch. He is far from it. He wants to be the badass cop, and at the same time, he's a goof. Doesn't think before he acts. He does a lot of things that he shouldn't do. He sees how the cops that he works with get away with doing funny little tricks whenever, say, when they pull over somebody. And Foster and Mac have this game called Meow. Now, what it basically means is, let's see how many times you can say meow while you're handling the citation you're giving out, and you can't crack, and you gotta say it as many times as you can. So basically, instead of saying now, like, "Hey, come here right now," you're just gonna say, "Hey, come here right now," and you're supposed to make the person think, "Are you crazy?" But at the same time, "Hey, I'm a cop. You're gonna question what I'm doing?" It's like, no. But yeah, so Farva, he sees and hears all the antics that they get to pull. So he's like, "Oh, I want to do all this. I want to do this." And it's like, yeah, but you take things to the extreme way too far. You get carried away. You don't know how to do it in a fun way. You're just mean and cruel. So this scene right here that they have for Farva is when they're at the fast food restaurant, and he goes up to the counter to order his food for lunch, and he goes, "I want a double bacon cheeseburger and a liter of cola." And the employee's like, "You want liter cola? What is liter cola?" He's like, "No, I want a liter of cola." Ramathorn's with him, says, "Farva, just order a large." He's like, "I don't want a large. I want a liter of cola." And the guy, of course, says, "We don't serve liter cola. We don't know what that is." And he just wants a liter of cola in that measurement, but he doesn't. He's stubborn. But you can see on his shirt here, he's got a big splat because on the cup here, he's got a little hole. And there's later on, after they get their food served, he goes to peel off the little peel and win game that they have on their cups at the fast food joint. And there's actually a hole they punctured, and it spills his drink on him, and Farva ends up diving over the counter and beating the crap out of the fry cook. So yeah, it's a hilarious scene. Again, you got to see it. All right, well, there you have it. Those are the Super Trooper Funko Pops based on the characters from the Super Trooper movie from 2001. Have not had a chance to see the second one yet. I'm hoping to go see it very soon, but I am looking forward to it. I know it's going to be hilarious. I've seen the Super Troopers movie countless times. It's a very fun movie. It's a cult classic. It holds up. You got to go watch it. If you haven't seen it yet, go find a copy. I'm sure you can find a DVD copy of it anywhere you go for your old DVDs, so definitely can find it. So one more thing I want to point out, I just noticed, I wish I had noticed this as I was taking these out of the box, but I just now noticed it. On top of every box, okay, inside as you open it up, you have a little quote from each of the characters. The Farva character here has his quote, "Can I get a liter cola?" As in he wants a liter of cola, but can I get a liter of cola? And then check out Ramathorn. There's a, I'll give you a little quick scenario. There's a moment in the movie where two German tourists, they pulled over for high speed speeding and also driving a stolen vehicle. They're supposed to be in jail, but Ramathorn ends up bringing them home to his hippie wife, who they swing with, and they have a foursome. And Ramathorn goes into the bedroom where the two German people are hanging out, or the husband and wife are hanging out, and he basically just says, "All right, who wants a mustache ride?" And they both are like, "I do, I want one." And then Mac, who's got his quote here, "You boys like Mexico?" So real quick, I'll tell you about this too. Very beginning of the movie, after I told you before, at the beginning of the movie, there's Mac pretending to be a rebel redneck being chased by his own buddies just for fun. Before that, Ramathorn and Rabbit pull over three kids that are traveling with a lot of illegal narcotics in their possession, and they end up getting put in the backseat of a cop car. Mac pretends to take over the cop car, still being not a cop at the time. He goes into the car and pretends to steal the car with the boys still trapped in the back of the cop car, and he turns around and he goes, "You boys like Mexico? Woo!" And yeah, just totally screws with them. It's just hilarious. So sweet. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you guys, if you haven't heard of the movie, never saw it, maybe now you'll go out and check it out and see it. I didn't want to spoil anything of the movie itself because it is a funny movie and you'll want to see the whole thing to the end. So there you go. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up right now. Also, remember you can check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at any time. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. This is PCJ, the original Pop Culture Junkie, and I'm signing out right now.